You
This morning. I'm fine, thank you.
good, good. It's nice to have you on your program. Such an inspiring story you have. We first saw it being featured in the papers, where it says that you can't kill purpose, and that is the mantra that you go by. Blake, who hails from the rural northern Clarendon community of Penance, is the poster child of a never say die narrative. I was reading the story, Miss Blake, and you said that you were almost aborted, am I right?
No, not almost aborted. I was thrown in the garbage bin
You were
at a tender age and left to die.
you were thrown in the garbage bin at a tender age. What age was that?
I was about 2 thereabout.
Wow. Listeners, at 2 years old, Miss Blake was tossed in the trash, as the song says, to be cast aside, just as you are dead. What impact did that have on you after learning that that was the reality for you at 2 years old?
Well, even before that, my self-esteem was trampled to the ground, and then learning that I was thrown in the garbage bin, just imagine how devastating that would have been. You know, it even made matters worse. By now I think that it was proof to me in my head, like, this is the proof that I'm really nobody. You know, nobody loves me, nobody wants me. You know, I remember I used to sing this little song, I'm nobody's child and nobody wants me, nobody cares. And I would be singing this song with tears in my eyes. At a 10, when I found out, I was like teenager coming up, I remember singing this song. So it was very devastating. I felt like nobody.
And I can imagine the anger and self-hate that
Oh,
brew
Lord.
out
Oh,
of that.
Lord.
Talk to us about
Oh,
that
Lord.
anger and self-hate. I have come across many people who, out of a circumstance of self-hate and anger, used to cut their hands. Did you engage in that?
Oh, no, I did not do that.
Okay,
But,
but explain to us how the self-anger and self-hate manifested.
All right. As for me, as the self-hate would I would be very angry. Like, it takes nothing for me to fight. Nothing. Anything. I wanted to go in the police force. I was so angry that I wanted to kill some people. That's how angry I was. I tried so hard to go in the police force, but God had other plans for me. 'Cause
Yes.
He knew that if I went into the police force and the government put the gun in my hand, He knew what I would have done. You know, but he had to pull that back, you know, in order to heal me, or for the process of healing to take place, because I was at a place of hate where I really wanted to kill. I was at a place where of hate, where to the point where I didn't even love myself. I didn't know how to love myself.
Yes.
And so I was always searching for love in the wrong places, which always ended up me being abused, you know, or being used. That is how much I hated myself. I didn't know how to love myself.
Where were your parents? Who raised you? Where were your parents? Mother, father?
All right. So my foster mother, she's the one who raised me.
Okay.
My biological mother, I grew to know her about at age 16 thereabout. I met her, but we don't have a relationship. I've tried, but it's just not working. I'm still trying though. I'm not giving up, you know.
No, you can go
And
ahead.
as it relates to my father, that's another sticky situation. I'll tell you, I don't know who my father is.
And I will tell you, I'm not surprised. And the unfortunate reality is that that is the case of so many children in Jamaica, so many individuals who do not know their fathers. And in cases where they do know their fathers, there is not the role is not being played sufficiently by the father. So I'll tell you that I am not surprised. But I am reading your story, and it says here at 16 years old, trying to take it to the discussion in a chronological order, at 16 years old, you were told prophetically that you'd go to university by Reverend Henry, Sophia Henry.
No, not Sophia Henry. Dion Henry, her sister.
Oh, Dion Henry. And listeners, can I say that Reverend Sophia Henry is my host pastor of the Lord's Will Church of God. A lovely, lovely lady. And her sister also, I know her well, associated with her church. So tell us about that experience for you, being prophesied that you go to university. How did that fit in when you were going through all the struggles?
All right, so it wasn't at age 16. At age 16, I had my first child. At age 18, I had the second. And at age 20, I had my third child. So having my third child, I started going to the St. John's Road Church of God. I was pregnant when I started going there, and as I said, purpose cannot die. So the Lord placed, strategically placed some persons in my life who I would have needed then. At this time, as I said in my story, I was living off the church's expense. St. John's Road Church of God, they were the one who was paying my rent.
That's my sister church.
Yes, they were paying my bills. And so the Lord would have placed Sophia Henry, the same one, and Dion Henry. But Sophia Henry, I don't know if you know, she's a bit strict, so I would more...
she's my host pastor, she's my host pastor. So when you talk about stern and disciplinarian,
yes.
I know.
Right, so I would more incline to Dion Henry. But Dion Henry was my mentor, and she has never left me. And I remember at age 20 when she said to me, by this time I was probably about 20, 21.
Yes.
And she said to me, she was prophesying over my life, and she said to me, you are going to go to university. And might I add, when she said that to me, I laughed at her.
Yes.
Why I laughed at her? The way I express myself now today, I could never express myself that way. And it's not that it was not within me, but because my self-esteem was so low, I could not express myself. I just thought I was done. I was ugly. And, it was all the bad things you could think about, and I would not express myself like this. And so when she said that, because in my head, you have university, in persons have it that persons who go to university are bright people,
yes.
And, they're eloquent speakers and all of that. And for me, at the time, I just could not put my words together to save my life. I felt so, because of how I felt then, it could not come out. And so when she said that to me, I laughed. I looked at her and I laughed. I said, what this woman is talking about? I could not see it. I did not see it. But 16 years later, you see when prophecies are being prophesied over your life, and some persons might think that, it's now, or it has to be now, but that's not how God works. It's either now or later, but we just have to trust the process. But to be honest with you, I did not see it. I could not see what she was saying. You understand? And even when I was going through, even when I wanted to go in the police force, I did not have it in my intention to say university. Let me tell you how far I didn't even see university, but God knows everything, and He plans everything strategically. Because I wanted to go to KSN, Kingston School of Nursing, because I just wanted to get out of this life that I was living, and I was just tired to be bouncing around and to be begging and, to live off a yard top. I just tired of all of that. And so when the police force failed, I remembered my foster mother saying to me, you're going to be a good nurse one day. And I grabbed onto that, and I really wanted to make my foster mother proud, and so I said, let me apply to KSN. But then she also taught me never to put my eggs in one basket. And so I had applied to KSN, but then I went and I applied to UTEC. And even when I had applied to UTEC, I still never see myself getting to UTEC, to be honest with you. But how determined I was, even before, because I had an outstanding subject, and I applied to UTEC with that outstanding subject, and I went up to UTEC and I spoke to the HOD in the CSUN's department, and I was saying to her, I didn't even see that I didn't even see myself that I had a fighting spirit, because even without that one subject, I went up there and I spoke to the HOD and I said, can't you accept me without that one subject? I promise you I'm going to pass it. It's pending and I'm going to pass it. And she said to me, no.
What was that subject?
English. I had English outstanding.
And I see where you graduated from high school with just one subject.
Just one CXC.
So after graduating from high school, you would have, gone to classes, I imagine?
The driving force behind that was me wanting to go into the police force. And when I had applied at that time, they did not require any subjects.
Mm-hmm.
And, as time goes by, when they called me, they said, it's now a prerequisite to have some subjects. And so that is what drove me to get those CXCs, because I really wanted to go in the police force. And then after getting those subjects, they said to me, I got another call, and I was probably about 31, and they said to me, you'll have to have a diploma or a degree in order to get into the police force. That's how they're doing it now. And I was like, oh my God. That's when I thought all hope was lost for me in the police force. And then I sat and I said, what am I going to do with my life? Because I thought the police force would have been that stepping stone for me.
Yes.
And, then it was like a eureka moment. When I started going back to church, because I was in and out of church by this. And then when I started going back to church, and I said, I remember what my foster mother said to me, Beverly Rowe. And she said to me, I remember her saying that I was going to be a good nurse one day. And I said, I'm going to go to nursing school. But as I was saying to you, I wanted to go to KSN. I would have gotten a certificate because it would have been 2 years. And to me, it would have been quick, and then I would have been in a job. So I had applied to KSN and I applied to UTech. Let me tell you the beauty about God and how God works. I wanted to go to KSN, as I said to you, because it's free.
Mm-hmm.
I went up to KSN and I spoke to the head of school up there, and I said, Miss Williams, I have to get in. I'm asking you, please. So by this, I went and I did the test. By this, UTech could have called me and, would have gone through the process at UTech. Let me tell you, when I went to do UTech test, I was pregnant in the hospital with my fourth son by this. I had preeclampsia, and I had to beg the doctors for me to leave the hospital to go and do my subject, to go and do the exam at UTech. That's how determined I was. But when after everything, the process, long and short of it, the process of it, I got a call from UTech. You're a UTech student, and you tell me if anybody have ever called you to say, come and choose your modules. Have you ever gotten that call?
I know of situations, where, God just worked miracles for people.
Yes, because I got a call from UTech. Let me tell you, as I said, I wanted to go to UTech, to KSN. I got a call from KSN at UTech to come and choose my modules. So at the time, I was like, choose modules, I don't know what they're talking about. So I called KSN the same time to find out if I got through to them, because I didn't want to go to UTech.
Yes.
And only to find, yes?
No, continue, can I wrap up that?
Only to find out that I did not get through at KSN. So when I went up to UTech, at this time I did not pay any ECF or anything,
Mm-hmm.
So nobody makes calls to tell you to come and choose your modules. That was the angel of God. That was God himself. So when I went up there and I told them that I got a call, they said, got a call? We don't call people to choose modules. However, everything is done online. And they asked me if I paid my ECF. And they said, words, they didn't even pay an ECF. Wouldn't have called you to choose your modules. And I was like, wow, that was God.
Yes.
And so I stepped into university. And when I stepped in, oh my God.
I want, because time is almost upon us.
Mm-hmm.
You were a janitor at one point in your life. And then you were a bartender.
Yes.
Talk to us about that. Why did you do that? Especially stigma surrounding janitorial, ancillary work. Why?
Well, let me tell you something. For me, no work is degrading as long as you're working your honest bread. My first job that I did at age 18, I was a janitor. And remember, as I said to you, I was traveling with very low self-esteem. So even then, and even now, to be honest with you, I would still do janitor work. Let me tell you this, proudly. It's not the job that you do, but how you do it. And you do it well and to the best of your ability. If I'm going to be a janitor, I want to be the best janitor. You understand?
Yes.
Everybody is not going to matriculate to university. But whatever you do the best of it. You do it in the best of your ability.
You take pride.
And so because I had no choice, and I just wanted to make an honest bread. Even before I left to university, I was a janitor at the Jamalco Sports Club. It was very challenging. I cried when I go in the bathroom in the mornings, and what I was greeted with. It was horrible.
Yes.
I cried. And so that was also a driving force behind everything, saying, listen, you have to get an education. I have to.
But,
I
Miss
can't
Blake,
live like this. I refuse to live like this.
the time is up on us. We have 30 seconds remaining. It's such a powerful story. I can look on the faces of the team here in studio, and we are touched and moved by your story. Within the last 30 seconds that we have, I want you to talk to a listener out there who is going through the challenges, probably similar to challenges you have gone through, you know, and needs a sense of motivation.
What I would tell a teen or anybody who is listening, not just a teen, because you have persons who are older than a teenager who have children, and they'll think that all is lost. All is not lost. And I can tell them that with God, anything is possible. And if you just believe in yourself, just first you believe in God, you believe in yourself, and you probably find that one person to believe in you, and you'll see how far you go. You just need to persevere. You just need to be disciplined. You just need to be determined. And with that, you conquer anything. You can be whatever you want to be.
Yes. I want to commend you, and I want to say that you are an example to so many individuals, and I want to encourage you to continue on the trajectory that you're on, and please use your story. Continue. You've been doing it, I see all over media. Continue to use your story so that it can be a source of encouragement and motivation for somebody else, because I can guarantee you that there are so many other individuals who are trapped in the same cycle, who are impacted by the low confidence and low self-esteem, who are told that they will never come out to anything good, who can use your story to better themselves and to have a sense of confidence. Thank you very much, Miss Blake, but we have to go now, and you know, my pleasure having a conversation with you.
Thanks for having me.
That was Jennifer Blake, 38-year-old, former janitor, former bartender, tossed in the trash, the garbage, the dirty something them at age 2, and beautiful. We're going to take a break.